times 3 times 5 years, that's $15 million. So you vote in our team. Singapore saves $15 million. Please, Mr. Finance Minister, Mr. Prime Minister, return some of that to Punggol. Because that $15 million was not raised but through GST or other taxes. It is brought to Singapore by the voters of Punggol GRC. And the only right and fair thing to do is to use some part of that to build covered walkways and everything else that Punggol residents tell us is a priority to be done. So DPM Gun, really you don't have to talk to your good friend. We have a solution here. Now next, ask yourself this. If the PAP is so confident that they have won the trust of Punggol residents and delivered, why did they have to parachute in DPM Gun at the very last minute? No, wait, don't wait, please. It's a serious question. You remember, I have said publicly in my interview to the Straits Times that I do not want to be parachuted in anywhere safe. Right? Now, I have searched all the news reports and I have not found any report where DPM Gun has said, I am sick and tired of this safe Chua Chu Kang GRC and I want to be parachuted in somewhere unsafe. So why did they parachute DPM Gun into Punggol at the last minute? Why are they so insecure? I will tell you why. They know they have not given Punggol GRC residents their all. We, our team, will give you our all. Also, Mr. Gan Kim Yong has said that he will speak with his good friend, PM and Finance Minister Lawrence Wong, on funding for more walkways. Now, let me understand this. What was Senior Minister Teo Chee Hean doing 20 years when he was helping Punggol, Pasir Ris Punggol GRC? Was he not good friends with the Prime Minister? Did he not ask the Prime Minister for more support for necessary infrastructure upgrading in Punggol? Now, besides residents, let me make this other point. These are public funds. It does not matter whether we are or not good friends with the Prime Minister. It does not matter whether he accepts our offer to play the guitar and the saxophone together. If the infrastructure is good for residents, we too can ask for it, and that money must be provided because it is your money. Let me next come to the second big point that Punggol residents have asked us to address. Isn't there a risk, they say, that we might lose DPM Gun if we vote for the Workers' Party? Now, like I said, no booing any individual. That's not who we are, right? Let's deal with the issues. Let me start up by saying this. I like DPM Gun. We have met on the ground several times during this campaign, and he's a very pleasant person. But the question to ask is, who put DPM at risk in Punggol GRC? Meanwhile, meanwhile, Mr. Victor Lai is coasting in Ang Mo Kio. Let me tell you, there is really no worry about DPM leaving because he is 65 years old and has candidly admitted initially he was not keen to accept the DPM role. So, we can thank DPM Gun for his service, but he reflects the past, not the future. DPM Gun will still continue to contribute to Singapore, even if he's not a political office holder. Remember Mr. Ng Chee Meng? And DPM Gun after this election, and they can keep each other company. This election is not about the PAP is
You take my
Singapore's inequality has skyrocketed, and the Prime Minister is recognizing everyone vote for the PAP, so the rich in private estates and landed property do not have to worry about paying more from proposals for increasing the wealth tax. When the Prime Minister of the PAP warns about more taxes for landed property owners, you know who they're worried about. It is not you. What I'm going to say in the direction is completely wrong. Now, the responsible rich in Singapore know that inequality is a threat and we need to address it. The Workers' Party will address it. We will speak up boldly for ordinary Singaporeans. Let me next say this. What is critical for us on the other side is fair politics and accountability. A lot has been said about the Allianz deal. Mr. Ng Chee Meng was head of NTUC at the time and he saw no problem with it. Make no mistake, he dropped the ball. We now know that DPM Gun also had a role in the transaction because he was chairman of MAS, the regulator ultimately deciding whether to approve this transaction or not. Mr. Tan Swee Chee has now written an open letter to all residents of Punggol GRC asking serious questions of DPM Gun. So let me say this to DPM Gun, and I say this respectfully. DPM Gun, will you answer Mr. Tan Swee Chee's questions? Because they are important questions being asked on behalf of all Singaporeans. And DPM Gun, if you will not answer, please tell us why you will not answer. Because this is about accountability, and real leadership never fears scrutiny. It welcomes it. So let me very quickly wrap up my third point. Will there be instability if you vote the opposition? The answer is no. Make no mistake, in this election, the PAP will be returned to power. Mr. Lawrence Wong will be Prime Minister. He will be supported by the civil service, and President Carmen is there in the final check. And you will have a strong, loyal opposition. One loyal Singaporean. Not from controlling 90% of Parliament. Your vote is going to be an important signal to the government. They will be looking at two things. One is the PAP's vote in this election. Will it go below 60%, and if so, how much? 58, 57, 56? And they will be looking at how many more GRCs and SMCs does the Workers' Party and other opposition MPs secure. That is your strongest message to the government about what they need to do. Use that power. In conclusion, remember, when you get into the voting booth, Punggol GRC residents, you're not voting just for Punggol. You are voting for the future direction of Singapore. And the hopes of thousands and thousands and thousands of Singaporeans are in your hands. And you'll be voting not just for present generations, but generations unborn who will thank you if you open up Singapore to the Workers' Party with a stronger presence in Parliament. It's a huge privilege you have. You can shape history. You can bend it in a more positive direction. Don't miss this opportunity. The time for change is now. Bless you all. Vote Workers' Party.
Go not really.